You know what? It takes hundreds of volunteers every single day to make this all happen. It's why we are joined by the man who coordinates all of those volunteers. Kevin Rafferty, thank you so much for being here with us.
Well, thank you, Shelby and John. Glad to be here.
Oh yeah, we're excited to have you here. Can you tell us just how many volunteers you have this year at the John Deere Classic?
We have over 2,000 volunteers this year. And for the 4th of July week and weekend, it's phenomenal that people have turned out to help run this tournament.
So I'm curious, how many of these folks are first-timers versus they've been doing it for a while now?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say probably 95% are return. And we had a volunteer appreciation dinner, and we had first-year volunteers stand up, and I'd say it's about 5%, but then how many stay for the next year? Many.
Wow, I was just going to ask that. 95% is an incredible rate. How do you get people to come back year after year?
I think we take good care of them. I think we make it fun, and it's exciting to be a part of the community that raises the charity funds that we do and brings in the economic impact that happens over that calendar year.
Okay, give us a sense of maybe the scope of the jobs that are out there, because, you know, if I'm visiting as a guest, I might see a handful of volunteers and think, hey, it's only these folks, but there's really so many jobs that have to be done.
Oh, there are hundreds of people on courses, volunteers assisting all the time. And even in the background, you don't see them, but they're here. Right. They're here at 5 in the morning, and they don't leave until play is over. It might be 8 o'clock at night. So it's a tremendous volunteer impact that we have.
What are some of those different, I'm sorry, just some of those different committees?
Well, we have gallery managers. You see them the most. They're out on the course. They're assisting, they have the silent signs. They help spot golf balls. You'll have scoring. You'll have the standard bearers. And then we have what we call the grunt crew. Those are the guys and girls that are going around and they're picking up garbage. They're picking up tee markers. They do all the electronic. They do everything for us. Very valuable.
Yeah, you guys got people all over the place. So I am curious, do you have conversations with other tournaments on the PGA Tour? I mean, how does the Classic compare when it comes to volunteers?
Oh, we're definitely on the high side. Per capita volunteers, we've got to be first or second. And it all starts with the staff. You know, the staff keeps people engaged year after year, and I think that's really important. And we try to give the appreciation to them.
Give us a sense, and I'm not trying to put a negative spin on this, but you have to deal with challenges every year, I imagine. What are some of the challenges that you deal with as kind of the coordinator here, but also that the volunteers are dealing with?
Well, the challenges are the ones you can't control, and James just took care of that for us, right?
Yeah.
So don't give him credit.
So we know we're good today, we're good tomorrow, and he's not giving me the 100% forecast on Sunday that we'd like. But you know, there are people that can't make it in. They're already signed up for a shift, so if someone misses a shift, you've got to plug somebody in. But that's not my job. We have committee chairs that do all the hard work. I'm kind of overseeing that, if you will.
You seem so relaxed at this point.
You know, really, because you've got such a good staff and you've got the great volunteers, it really is comfortable. Everything is going right on schedule, and there hasn't been any blips in the map. And we've got a great field, and you're going to hear a bunch of noise behind us because 3 of the past champions are going to be going down 18 right now.
Now, Kevin, I was curious, have you seen a bump in volunteers since you started doing concerts on the course?
I think we have. It's gotten the younger people a little bit more involved. I would say we were probably tipping the older scale, and now it's getting a little bit younger, which is great. That's what we want. Yeah, the concerts on the course have been tremendous in volunteerism and attendance.
And you've got a lot of families that do volunteering out here together.
Yeah, we have generations of people. We'll have, it's not unlikely that we'll have 3 generations working at the same time.
And there's so many stories, I imagine, that you've kind of picked up from the volunteers, because they sort of really, it seems, inject themselves and inject their personality into the volunteer process.
They do, and you kind of feel that when you walk into the committee meetings or you're around here and you see the group that they're with. They take on that personality. So if you got someone gregarious, that committee is going to be a fun group to hang around. The Grunt Dome is a great place to hang out. Not many people know about that. That's they and the gallery managers are probably the largest groups, and a ton of fun. It's what makes this tournament fun for people to volunteer.
This is not a question, but you know what my favorite place is to hang out around here?
18 green? 18 green, so you can be there for the concerts?
The Cart Barn.
Oh, the
I just
Cart
think they're
Barn.
I mean, everybody out here is great, but
Yeah.
what a great group down there.
They're the early arrivers. They're the first to arrive and the last to leave.
Yeah.
Because we've got to turn our carts in, they've got to charge the carts. We have someone that spends the night all weekend, all week here. So as I've said, it's a huge commitment.
And it's good to be friends with them because they can give you rides if
Oh,
you're out on the
yes.
course.
The most valuable thing you can have is a golf cart on the course.
Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out Arky and Susie.
They
but
are really friendly. They've given me rides before too. So I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
Before we let you go,
Yeah.
really fast, when can people start signing up to volunteer for the 2025 John Deere Classic?
We usually open that up in March or April of the next year. So if the sooner you get in, you get what you would like. You sign up for what you think you'd be interested in. There are walking scores, there are standard bears, or the gallery management. There are many, many different places people can choose.
I love it. Kevin, thank you so much for your time.